Hello, and welcome to a very special Election Day version of Husky Talk. I am your host, the best podcast host in the universe, Steve Cully. I would like to thank our sponsors at Procyon Partners. Procyon Partners, one of the top 50 fastest growing companies in the nation. Also, we have Pete Finch in the Finch Law Firm. If you feel your rights have been violated or you have been arrested and need any other legal services, they offer them all. In a pinch, call Finch. And with me today, the man of the hour, the guest of the hour, too sweet to be sour, one of my favorite running backs to watch, single-handedly beat Notre Dame, who I despise, Mr. Andre Dixon. Andre, great to see you.
Me, brother.
Thank you for doing this. Thank you for doing this. Man, I used to love watching you run. You and Jordan were just an incredible tandem. And I still think that's the foundation of UConn football. Just because playing in the rent with the weather the way it is, it's so tough with the wind to run kind of like a spread offense and throw the ball. You guys were just downhill, powerful, physical, tough runners. And you ran through people. You ran angry. You ran hard. And I loved every second of it. I love the way Coach Foley had you guys going. And you were a delight to watch.
Pound the rock, baby. Pound the rock. Down, man. Run the ball. You can't stop the run.
Can't
At
stop.
The rent, you're gonna have a long day, baby.
Yes. I wish they would get. I mean, they have good backs now, but they're doing it more out of the spread stuff. So I don't know your story initially. Where are you from?
I'm a New Jersey guy, born and raised. I had multiple scholarships coming out. Illinois, I had Kentucky, I had UConn, I had North Carolina, Chapel Hill, I had Temple. Being an inner city guy, my family couldn't afford to travel to every game if I went to one of those further places. I wanted them, being a Jersey guy, 3-hour ride, they could take that every weekend. We played home. And then we played local teams like Syracuse, Rutgers, places they could travel to and come see us play. You know, we played Maine and different, games that they could come to, UMass, DC, stuff like that they could drive to. So I wanted my family to be a part of, my journey. So I said, wherever I go, I'm a ball anyway. I said,
it doesn't matter where they put you.
Man, and it was a success. It was amazing.
So have you been following the team this season pretty well? Have you been able to watch them?
I've been following the team every season. I've been there when there was 10 people in the stadium, multiple years ago. I went to the last bowl game 2 years ago. I've been following the team ever since, man. I live right in the Hartford area. So
oh, you do?
It's nothing for me to move, pull right up to East Hartford, Richland Field, and catch the guys. So I've caught games every single year, win or lose.
Oh man, I wish I knew that. This was my first time. I went back in 20 years. I went to 2 games. I went to the game this past Friday. And I was at the Temple game. I was skeptical before the season, just because I never liked the 3-3-5 concept defensively, and offensively. They had 60 new guys combined with the freshmen and the transfers, and I was just worried. I didn't know how that was going to mesh. And credit to Coach Mora. He's getting the W's, and we're bowl eligible. We realistically could win 8, maybe 9 games. Who knows? We're coming around. Just what have your thoughts been, would you say, from what you've seen offensively from the team?
You have to be up there at practice. So what I did is I had a chance to go up there and really, see, the meat and potatoes and see what we had. I saw that stable of backs in camp. I was like, man, listen, we got about 4 or 5 of them, bro.
You did,
and some guys people don't even know about, like the Robinsons and guys like that. I saw those dudes in camp. I was like, listen, And then I remember we had this O-line coming back. We got beef up front, man.
You knew about Robinson? You saw him in camp, and you knew he was going to be special.
I was like, man, listen, this dude, he just needs a couple calories to show he got. So I was looking at those guys, and Cam still was pounding in camp. Yep. You know, Vic Rosen, when he was healthy, was moving around.
Mel Brown.
Then number 7, who I never saw. I saw him make. I was like, bro, they got back today.
Yeah, so, Mel Brown.
And having some key pieces like the tackles come back and different stuff like that, and then going to Wisconsin and stature quarterback and seeing him make some throws in camp, I was like, the sky's the limit. And now we see the production actually on the field. So, man, watching that in camp, I was excited just because I got to see it in the early stage, and then to see what it turning into is, man, it's been amazing.
So you knew all along. You knew all along.
We had but I hope that it's good to see it coming together. I ain't gonna say, you got to be around what Coach Moore is doing, man. You got to remember that's an NFL guy.
Yes.
You know, he know how to get guys going, man. That dude, he's something special, man. I hope we can keep him.
Yeah, I hear you on that. So I know the loss to Maryland was tough, and probably with the 60 new guys gelling, that probably took a lot to get everyone together. You know, they responded against Merrimack. They responded against Florida Atlantic. Did you ever buy into a quarterback controversy with Joe Figiano and Nick Evers, or did you clearly think Evers was the guy?
You got to remember that the game has changed with the NIL and all of that stuff. When you go get those guys from those schools, or if you want to compare it to the NFL, when you trade for a guy, you plan to play the guy, right?
You 100%.
With the new NIL, and you going to get a guy and you bring him in, it's kind of similar to the NFL. They kind of plan to play him, but with Fignano's experience and him having all those years under his belt, I just knew it would be a healthy competition. Yeah. And then camp, that's being up there around. That's what I saw. Yeah. I saw a healthy competition, man. Both of those guys running with the ones, making plays. And as you see now, when neither one of them getting a game, man, each one has a possibility to be successful. So, the game changed, man. The game has changed.
No, I know. They both do different things well. And, Evers, he's a good runner. He throws the ball pretty well. I think he just, we keep forgetting, like, this was only his 5th full game playing. So to judge him that quickly, I don't think is fair. Figiano, I get, he has crazy numbers in the short amount of time he played. But, he played against Merrimack. He played against Florida Atlantic, some of the lesser programs, Buffalo. But I think Nick Evers, especially this week, going down to UAB, where the weather won't be as much of a factor, I just think he's got to have a coming out party. I mean, him and Skylar Bell, TJ Sheffield, if they can click and get that passing game rolling, they can be unstoppable because they have the defense, they have the running game. That's the only piece that's really kind of missing was the passing game. And if that continues to develop, man, I think they really could be something special.
I agree with you with that one. Like you said, it's real early for him, man.
Yeah.
I feel like he's still just getting at his feet.
Yeah, it's 5 games, man.
Yeah, he has that scrambling ability that we haven't really seen in the Husky backfield in a while. So I don't know if they got to break the pocket plays to get them rolling out, get things moving. But the pass opens up the run. When we can start chucking the ball and they got to respect the pass, I hear you 100%, man. Those running lanes going to open right up. And who knows who's going to be able to stop us then. Syracuse might have to watch out then.
You're speaking my language right there about moving the pocket, because that's exactly what I think they need to do with him a little bit more. Let him throw on the run. Let him use his athleticism. So you were from Jersey. Did you start playing at an early age? Were you playing like youth football from 8, 9, 10 years old? Did you start that young?
We started even earlier. So in my neighborhood, we started free for all in the living room, man. We would throw up a fake little ball and tackle each other. So, you know, and then we had a hill across the street that was called Sacred Heart, and we would knock each other off the hill. I mean, every time I would come home, my mom would say, "What happened now?" Something was broken and battered. So then finally I played Mighty Mites around 8, 9 years old, and I've been playing ever since, man. Football saved my life. You know, I don't know if I'll be here, man, if I ain't, you know.
Was that the Mighty Mites? That's in pads, right? That's not like flag. Yeah. So you're hitting that young. Were you initially a running back from the start?
I started off as center.
Oh, please don't tell me that. Somebody put you at center?
Ball at first, man. You know, all the coaches' dads is playing quarterback.
You're right.
You know, and then the settle, and then, you know.
You're right.
Ballers get the ball.
You're telling me, so if I gave you a football right now, I put a quarterback under, you could snap the ball to the quarterback, no problem.
100 times in a row, no fumble snaps on my behalf. Yes, sir. Some things you never forget, man. Did you play center all the way up through Mighty Mites and Pop? I don't know if they call it Pop Warner down there, up until you got to the high school or junior high level? So I played center for the first year. Okay. Yeah, so Mighty Mites, I played center linebacker, and then they started giving me the ball a little bit my next year. But my main thing all the way up to about high school was defense. They called me the hitman. I was just running there and try to Urlacher kids. Oh, wow. Yeah, when I was younger and I was on defense, middle linebacker, man, it was a lot of oohs and ahs, man. Because think about it. We were little kids hitting each other without equipment. Now you give me these pads and this helmet, and I can run through these kids now. Yeah, you were on the hill. That's right. What? Yeah. What? It was like armor we had on. I was blessed. Man. So, yeah. That's awesome. So did you like defense too? I loved it. You did? Loved it. I wish I tried to play. So when I first got to UConn, right, they recruit you to be certain positions. I came in as a running back, and the first time we had 7-on-7, I was playing safety also. Yeah. You still there? Yeah, I got you. I was playing safety also. And coach came in, Coach Lakatos, who recruited me, said, "Man, hey, listen, we recruited you for running back, son. Get on the other side of the ball." And I never went back to safety. I never tried to play safety again. That's hilarious. That's absolutely hilarious. I love it, man. Love it. And that's what made you such a powerful running back, because you were not scared of contact. You would run over and through people all the time. I miss it, man. No, I hear you. Believe me, we all miss it. It's I always tell people, football's not like basketball, where they have the old man leagues where you can go and play every once a week in an old man's league. Football, when you're done, you're done. There's nowhere to go. You know, it's not a sport you can play long term. I agree. When you get to junior high, 7th, 8th, 9th grade, you're still playing running back. Are you still playing both ways, offense and defense? Yeah, all the way through high school until I went to college. I still played linebacker. Yeah, played linebacker. Only time I came off the field was kickoff return. I was on the field on kickoff. I was the wing on field goal. I was the edge guy on field goal block. I mean, we didn't leave the field in high school, man. What high school did you go to? It was New Brunswick High School in New Jersey. New Brunswick, New Jersey. Okay. So you went to a good program. Yeah. We had Dwayne Jarrett. Went to USC. Number 2 receiver in the country behind Megatron. We had 2-time Super Bowl champion Jonathan Casillas. He won with Drew Brees, and then the 5th ring with Brady. Al Creek Brown went to Akron. We had guys going everywhere from there. Brandon Smith amazing. Went to Michigan, 5-star athlete. It was crazy. That's amazing. So you were in the best of the best. Would Brunswick be on comparison with like Del Bosco? Like, could they play with them or beat them, or same kind of talent? We had a smaller line, so I think the beef Del Bosco had up front would have definitely took us out of there, just being honest. But athletes-wise, guys that's flying around in the skill positions, yes, I believe we definitely could compete with Del Bosco. But that just the offensive linemen, man, they had dudes that were going to Oklahoma.
Yeah.
You know, USC at O-line. You know, when you got beef up front on the high school level, you know, you can move some things around and pound some guys. So,
were you playing at the varsity level as a freshman or a sophomore, or did you play more as a junior and a senior? Did they work?
My sophomore year, so freshman we played freshman.
You did play freshman. Okay.
We had ballers. We had multiple guys that were already, like I said, Dwayne Jarrett was a year ahead of me. Marvin Teddy. We had guys that were already full scholarship players that were ahead of me. But sophomore year, they put me on JV for my first game, and I was a man amongst boys. I probably had 3 touchdowns first half. I was slamming kids, and at halftime, coach said, "Go take your equipment off."
Go take your equipment off. You're moving up.
Me and Jonathan Silas, he took us off the field at halftime, first JV game. We never
all right, we've seen enough. You guys can go up.
Go exactly.
That's so awesome because, like, I played varsity as a sophomore, and I'm in upstate New York, and we have very bad football. So even playing here, it's a big deal to play as a sophomore. So I can't imagine a school like yours playing as a sophomore. That's got to be incredible. Were they able to work you in as a sophomore? Did you get some carries?
So my first carry was a touchdown. My first carry was a 60-yard touchdown in high school. Sophomore year, put my foot in the ground, turned on my speed, and my dad, I'll never forget, my dad was running down the stadium sideline with me.
With you?
You know, that's the story people still tell me back home. My dad ran all 60 yards with me and scored with me from the stands. So,
what did you think? What would you say you were running speed wise back then in the 40?
When I went to UConn camp, I ran a 4.54.
God.
Yeah.
So you were probably like a 4.6 when you were a sophomore, easily.
Yeah. And that's why sometimes I time these kids out here, and the average speed in Connecticut is a 5 flat.
Yeah, I know.
And they're like,
Connecticut football.
I don't want to brag, but fellas, man, we were flying.
Yeah, it's Connecticut football. Do you train kids or do you coach?
So I own Dynamic Human Performance. It was Dixon Sports Performance.
Okay.
But I had people showing up just wanting autographs and doing one session, and I'll never see them again. I take a picture and an autograph with Dixon, and I never come again.
Right.
So I rebranded and kind of took my name off it. And it said Sports Performance. We train adults too. I didn't want it to just say Sports Performance and be making adults think that they couldn't come here and train. So I changed it to Human Performance. You know,
very smart marketing.
I have everything. Yoga. I have athletic development classes for the youth. I have adult small group classes, adult individual sessions with me. So we're doing really good, man. I got about 6 employees underneath me, and we just giving back to the community every day, man. I love what I do.
That's awesome. Do you have like a website online? Okay, because I'll make sure to promote that in the show notes and whatnot. That's something we'll do. We'll get that out there because the YouTube channel that we use, I partner with Dave Schuman, who's a UConn guy. He's from Jersey. His YouTube channel has 1 million subscribers. So, and then my podcast on the audio platforms has over 100,000, 150,000 per episode we get. So you'll get pretty good coverage. So you played as a sophomore. Did you start going like recruiting wise when you're at a school like Brunswick? Like, I know coaches come in regularly to see you. Did you also go to one-day camps? Did you do the camp circuit at all?
Yeah, I did the one-day camps, but what really helped a lot of us was having a number 2 receiver in the country in our school. So you got Nick Saban walking through our school one day, Pete Carroll the next day, Urban Meyer the next day. You know what I mean? It was crazy to where, you you're in a classroom with a guy, and the coach comes to the window and says, boom, walk out.
Yeah.
And you open the door and you see Pete Carroll. You're like, what the heck? You straighten up real quick in class.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. So, and then with the camp scene, When I showed up to camps, man, I always got bumped back into the front of the line. Like I went to UConn camp around 4 or 5 something at UConn camp.
That was it.
When it went to drills, they would put their best Connecticut kid up.
Oh,
and
yes.
I would destroy him.
They would try to test you, yeah.
They was trying to test me.
Yeah.
Best Connecticut kid up, best kid at the camp. Every time they was making me cut the line. I'll never forget that. Cut the line.
They always put you first.
And I was just, I was shredding everybody. And then you see Etzel walk over with his shaved and his notepad. Don't say nothing to you.
Randy, that's how it is. Yes.
And he took a little note down.
Yep.
And keep it moving.
Yeah, he can't sell it. He can't sell it like he's excited.
Mm-hmm.
He's got to keep it. He's got to keep the poker face like he's not impressed.
Right?
That's how he is.
So it was cool, man. It was a good time going to those camps, and then that prepared me, for after college. I had to go to camps and stuff anyway. So it was a prop. Yeah. So
for sure.
You're trying to find your next job. You're gonna go to CFL camp sometimes. NFL teams call you, bring you in for a tryout. So that kind of just prepared me for camps because I didn't know I was gonna end up having to be at, the combine. I was at, a couple different levels where I got tested. So it was all preparation.
How many other college camps did you end up going to? Did you just go to UConn? Did you go to like Rutgers? Because I can't believe Rutgers would let an in-state kid leave.
I think that. So I did go to Rutgers camp. I did excellent at Rutgers camp, and I think I did like a Princeton or something like that. But we had higher goals than that,
Yes.
So we have very high goals. So the two big schools around that my dad wanted to drive to was Rutgers and UConn.
Okay.
So we went to those schools. Rutgers came to a game where I had 160 yards, 3 touchdowns. The tight end coach was there. The guy recruited me, and they just knew my house was 6 minutes away from Rutgers.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I can't believe they would let a kid like you get away.
Being an inner city guy that's saying that, think about me being that close to home, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
They didn't want me to be able to have. Think about it. It's a lot of distractions. If Rutgers is in my backyard,
I forgot about that.
All that stuff going on in the inner city could possibly,
Yeah.
So me being 3 hours away was, I think, a benefit for me just because of.
You got out.
I don't know. I didn't want that much access to me. Wouldn't have been good to me.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have been good at all.
Yeah.
So I think it worked out for the best, but.
It worked out for the best.
Jewel, man.
It worked out for the best. So, like, would you say? I know inner city, there can be some bad crowds and bad people you can get involved with, and you managed to stay out of that life. You managed to focus on football and make that your priority.
Yes.
Yeah, that's huge. That's huge. And I'm sure your family played a big part in that and keeping you on the straight and narrow. That's huge.
Yeah, and it's hard too. Most people don't know because those your boys, those your buddies.
I know.
Hey, Dre, that's this, that. It was certain stuff that just seemed normalized too,
Yeah, yeah.
But to take into college, it's not accepted,
So it's not.
Exactly.
No, it's not.
Being very strong-minded and knowing who I was early too.
Yeah, you must be very mature for your age. I could tell.
Yeah. But one of the things is growing up in that environment and it being normalized, and now you have to make a whole 360 and eliminate a lot of stuff when you want to elevate, and that comes with cutting a lot of people off, man.
It does.
It's hard, man. Friends I've been with my friends since we were 5 years old, and now we 16, 17, and he's like, bro, I gotta go lift weights right now, man. I can't go do that, so. It's hard, but man, that's why I'm in this seat right now,
Yeah. So did UConn offer you out of camp, or did they offer you before camp, or a little bit later, would you say?
So I went up to UConn camp to kind of show them what they offered. They offered me already.
Okay.
But my dad wanted me to hit camps. He was like,
we
going to the UConn camp. And as I was killing it, one of the coaches was like, man, they might offer you today. I said, I already got a scholarship. He didn't even know I was offered, but that's so new. And at the end, they take you in the back and they kind of take you in a room and they talk about different stuff, how they can, I don't know if it's
You were one of the few that they brought back.
To talk to you before you leave camp real quick.
Yes.
But yeah, they were excited that, they gave me a scholarship. They felt like they made the right choice. And the guy come to camp and show you, you get to see him live. I thought that was important. So.
No, I completely understand. I coached for 10 years. I coached at Holy Cross and Dartmouth. So it was the same type of deal where, the kids that you knew that you wanted, you kind of pull them aside afterwards and try to have a little conversation with them to let them know, hey, you had a great day and we want you to be part of this team. And that's huge that you got that. And were you planning on committing right away, or did you kind of wait to see before you committed?
I had a North Carolina visit set up for a few weeks after my UConn visit, but when I went up to UConn, and like I said, I wanted my family to be a part of it.
Yeah.
I didn't even go on my North Carolina visit.
Yeah, that would have been tough. That's a distance.
I think that I would tell a kid now, take all your visits.
You should, yeah.
You should.
I tell them that too.
Then, it was nobody telling me that. My dad and them wanted me to be close, and it was more convenient for the family. So it was a push for me to kind of commit early, though.
Yeah.
And he met Etsu. He loved Etsu. He loved the school. He loved the new facility they was building with the Burton Family Football Complex. He was like, "Bro, you could be a part of something special." They just won. They went 8-4 in the Big East or something like that, and then just went to the bowl game.
Yep.
What was it?
Meineke Car Care Bowl. Yeah, 07.
So, things were brewing, man. It was looking up. So, Terry Carley was just about to leave. Rock and Tim was just about to leave. The doors were opening, for the running back position.
Huge.
And it was me and another Jersey guy going, and Donald Brown, who was a really, really good player.
Yep, that's right.
So I was like, I want to be a part of that, man. So I made the right choice, man. If you look back, people, hindsight 2020. Oh, you go to North Carolina, ACC. Man, we did our thing in the
I definitely think you made the right choice because you left the lasting legacy at UConn that will never be replaced. And just incredible, just an incredible job. And you're right. I totally forgot you came in at the right time when running backs were sorely needed. And it was you, Donald, and then I think did Jordan come in later?
Jordan came in about junior year, but he played right away.
Yes.
True freshman.
Yes.
Yeah. And when I tore my ankle up in the beginning of the year, Donald Brown took off. That's when he went first round. And
correct.
The guy that was spelling was Jordan. I think Donald Brown had 2,000 and Jordan had 600 the year I got injured.
Correct.
So we had a stable of backs. And Lou Allen was still there, too.
That's right. Big Lou Allen was there. I forgot about, And his dad also played at UConn. I forgot that, too. And I'm trying to think. Was Tyler Lorenzen your quarterback?
Yeah.
Okay, so you played with Tyler.
Was my quarterback. Yeah, that's when we won Big East.
Yeah. I always liked him. I liked his attitude. I liked he was tough. He was physical. He could run the ball. But obviously, so you come in 2008. Was it a culture shock to you to start Division I football? Was it like a big adjustment for you, or did you feel like you fit right in and could do it all?
One thing we had at my high school was a Player Smart program that forced us to do study hall right after school, lift weights, and then practice.
Wow!
And we had an academic advisor
in high school.
In high school, yes.
Oh my God!
It was called the Play It Smart program. I mean, it sits so many guys to college. Right now, they're trying to make another one in Connecticut. They got 8 Hartford schools lined up to do it. It's still 55 schools. I'm going to tell you all about that one day. But this Play It Smart program, like I said, lined up your classes to make you good for college, so you're eligible.
The clearinghouse, yep.
Clearinghouse with the SAT stuff. Made sure you did study hall, which you have to do in college.
Very true.
And then weightlifting is mandatory, which you have to do in college.
Very true.
So when I walked in the door, man,
you've done it all. You were prepared.
I was ready to go, man. I mean, that Player Smart program saved my life, man. I walked in, I was ready to go. Study hall, no matter. It gave me structure so that when I got handed that paper of Andre, it's your schedule, I was ready to go.
Yeah. So
yeah, it's different though, man, because it's one thing to have a couple hours in high school of work and to be at UConn and have a whole day full of work from the time your eyes open to the time your eyes close,
From 8 a.m. till 10 p.m.
So it's different.
That's right. That's right. So in high school, you would get out, you would immediately go to study hall first and then lift weights and then practice.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So you were getting home 7, 8 o'clock at night?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So I can see that. So you were putting work in.
Yeah, they had a late bus. For kids that did after school programs and stuff like that. So all football players would be on the late bus. So you could still get dropped off. So there's no excuse. I ain't gonna have no way home or none of that.
Yeah, they took care of you.
They took care of us. So yeah, good program, man.
You must have loved your high school coaches. Your high school coaches must have been instrumental in helping you with recruiting and trying to guide you and be a mentor. Obviously, your father as well. Would you say?
I would say my dad didn't live in the same household with me, but you would think he did.
Yeah,
he was around for everything, man. I love my pops to death, So with his guidance, and then we just now brought in a guy named Coach Quinn, who always won in New Jersey. Everywhere he went, he won. He came to a basketball game, right? Before he took over the job, like kind of going into the spring for next year.
Yeah.
Came to a basketball game, and he saw Dwayne Jarrett and a guy named Desmond Belton, who went to Idaho on a full scholarship. Doing windmills, going crazy. He said, I'm taking a job. These guys on the football team, these are my wide receivers.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm taking a job. Yeah. And when he came in, we went 33-3.
Oh my good God. 33-3.
Went 33-3. And 2 of the games we lost were playoff games. He won 3 state championships in like 6 years. Man, that dude was amazing. But he lined us up and then he made the calls, man. He said, listen, you take care of your grades, you ball out for me, I'm gonna call whatever school you want.
I'll make sure that
I will make sure we at least get them on the phone. We'll give you an opportunity.
Yeah.
So man, he got everybody scholarships, man. Shout out to Coach Quinn, man. That dude.
Shout out to Coach
Quinn.
Man. Yeah, that's so huge. That's so huge because so many high school coaches do not do that and help their kids with recruiting. And you have to be vigilant and you have to send emails to coaches and you have to send film links and make sure and follow up with guys. And you got coaches coming in constantly. You have to make sure that you talk to them, make sure they come see your guys. So it's great that you had him and everything worked out the way that it did. So when you played, you didn't redshirt, right, in 2008?
I redshirted.
You did.
I got there 05 and finished in 2000.
Oh, you got there in 05. Okay, that's okay.
My first year was a redshirt year.
Okay.
Yep, and then I did kickoff, and then sophomore year I led the team in rushing. Junior year I got injured.
Yep.
And then senior year we tore the roof off the Notre Dame win and all that good stuff.
Was your senior year the International Bowl?
My senior year was Papa John's
Bowl.
Okay. Papa John's Bowl. Yep.
That was amazing. Going down and beating South Carolina, Steve Spurrier. I was so psyched about that. But obviously, I have to ask about the Notre Dame game because going into that, there was already. I mean, I felt so bad for the team and Coach Edsel because of the tragedy that happened before the season, and you guys playing for Jasper, and it was just incredible that number one, we were playing Notre Dame, and number two, just that game in general. What was your mentality like going into that game? What would you say the team's mentality was like going into that game?
Man, Huskies gonna be dogs, man. We're gonna be dogs. We about to tear.
No fear.
We don't care if Joe Montana play here. We don't care who play here. We gonna beat Notre Dame today. He's dead in the locker room. when your coach backing you like that, you know, and you got guys. We trained so hard, man.
I know
we
you
trained
did.
so hard all season, man. Exeter did not play.
No.
So when you had guys believing and they just lost their last senior day to Syracuse or something the year before that. So let's repeat it. Let's do it again.
Yeah.
So we went in there, man, and coach called it. We got it done, man. So our mindset was we were so confident. I'm talking. Listen, they had first round wide receiver over there. Golden Tate was another top receiver.
Yep.
Jimmy Clausen at quarterback. Drafted running back. The whole line went to the NFL. Come on, man. Harrison Smith is still playing for the Vikings. He was the safety on that team.
100%. But you in particular, you took that game over. Like I just remember watching you, and we were more like we didn't run. If I recall, we didn't run a ton of zone. We were a power team. We ran counter, and that's like this is what's coming. Stop us, or we're gonna shove it up your ass. And that seemed like our mentality, and that's what we did. And you were such a good inside runner. And the one thing I noticed about you was you were very, very good at setting up your blocks. You were good at setting up your blocks, cutting off of them, and then your breakaway speed was just unbelievable. But the game was tight. It was a seesaw battle. I don't recall exactly do you remember how it went into overtime?
It was a field goal by Dave Taggart in the end.
Yeah, right. Okay. So he
sent it into OT.
He sent it into OT, and then it went double overtime, correct?
Yeah, they scored, we scored.
Right.
They came down, kicked the field goal.
Right.
And then we punched it in for the game winner.
And
so it was 30-33.
And you scored though, right?
And I got the game winner, baby.
Yeah.
I'm just still mad. I threw the ball in the stands, and I thought about it after.
I loved it though. I loved it. I loved when you did it. I know. I know. That's the ball
from the greatest touchdown in UConn history.
I know. I love that. But honestly, Andre, I hate Notre Dame more than any school alive, and I just thought, fuck you, Notre Dame. Andre just ran in and scored. He threw the ball up and just fuck you, Notre Dame. We just kicked your ass.
That's how I felt. Just
get out of here. And then Charlie Weiss gets fired the next day.
Yeah, that was so. It's crazy that I got to play against Charlie Weiss that year, and the coach of South Carolina. What's
Spurrier. Yeah.
That's two Hall of Fame guys,
Yeah, that's unbelievable.
So competition was wild, man.
That's unbelievable. That's unbelievable.
I'll never forget that game, man. And we stormed their field. That was great.
Did.
All of our players ran out, and it's like, come on, in Notre Dame, dudes are picking up pieces of grass and souvenirs.
Yes, they were. They're taking grass back, dude. Andre, I know that they kicked the field goal to win the Big East title that sent them to the Fiesta Bowl. But I still believe that game against Notre Dame was probably the biggest victory in UConn history, because nobody expected us to go in there and compete with them. Not only compete with them, but beat them at home in double overtime. And you ran the ball straight up their ass.
I agree. And that's the one, man. They can say that the field goal one. That's the one. That's the biggest. Yeah. Until they top it this year in a bowl game or something, I'm hoping that they do.
I hope so too.
The biggest one.
I hope so too. So what did you end up majoring in at UConn? Because I know you're doing training now. You're working with athletes. You're working with adults. You're doing a little bit of everything. Were you like health or kinesiology or something like that?
I was a sociology major.
Just like me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, bro.
So it was called major in graduation. That's what we called it. But you could. It doesn't really matter. I mean, because with your name and recognition and your pedigree, you can train all day. I mean, you know what needs to be done. you know what players need to do to be successful on and off the field. So I can completely get that. And
I went and got all the certs and all of that stuff.
You did?
All
Okay.
the proper stuff. Yeah. I further my knowledge in this field just to make sure, as the field grows. I've been out of school 20 years. 15 years. So
we lie on the podcast. You don't have to say that.
Right.
You've been out of school a couple years.
There we go. Yeah, a couple years ago. So, that as this field continues to change, I continue to grow with it, though.
Yeah,
so
it's changed. It's changed a lot. It's changed a lot. So when you came out, not sexually or anything, but when you came out for the draft, did you initially sign with an agent? Did you talk to some agents and then make a decision on kind of who you wanted to go with?
Yeah, I went with a guy that I feel like it worked out okay.
Yeah.
I ended up Giants camp, but if I had a different agent, it would have went a little differently. But did I have the talent to play at the next level? Without a doubt.
Yeah.
So I got into camp with the Giants, but they were loaded, man.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, they had Brandon Jacobs, they had Ahmad Bradshaw, Andre Ware. They were stacked at running back, and they were like, if you can't do special teams, then we don't need you because we're loaded at back. But I was a starter. They don't really put your starters on special teams because they don't want you to get,
Correct.
So I was like, I'm willing to learn anything, but they didn't have. They wanted like a special teams kind of guru from college to come in and be a backup running back in case somebody got hurt. It was crazy. I kind of messed my hamstring up at Giants camp. And
were they at Albany at that time or no?
Who?
Were they at University of Albany at that time for training camp or no?
No, they had the facility right in the back. That big old like dome thing that they built.
Yes.
Yeah, it's right over. It's like 5 minutes from MetLife Stadium.
Correct. Okay.
Yeah, they had that. Yep. So they had that during camp. So we didn't have to go far. They did. I didn't know they trained at Albany. That's
they were at SUNY Albany for a good 15 years, I believe. And then they got away from it. That's why I was just curious. Because I think it was right before you that they stopped going to Albany. But I mean, that's an incredible experience as it was. But running back, like my opinion on the NFL, I played in NFL Europe. I also played in Canada. I think there's enough talent-wise to support 40 teams if they wanted to in the NFL. There's just not enough opportunities for guys to get reps or get looks. It's not that they're not good enough to play. They don't get the reps. They don't get the opportunities to. And that's the issue. And then I think not having a developmental league is critical. NFL Europe was very good. And losing that, I think, is tough because now if you get cut, where do you go? I mean, you can go to the UFL, which is new, and they're trying to get a partnership with the NFL. You obviously have Canada, you obviously have arena football, but it's not a fit for everyone. One of my co-hosts on another show that I do wholeheartedly believes that they should do a developmental league that's done in season that runs concurrent to the NFL. So it plays on like Wednesday nights or whatever. So you have 8-10 teams and you have guys that are already in game shape, ready to play. So you're not signing people off the couch. And that's how he thinks that they should do a developmental league. He should run it like that. I don't know if it'll ever happen, but that's how he believes it. But it's tough because if you get released, there's not a lot of places that you can go to and continue to play. So is that when you went to Canada, or did you stay in the NFL and get workouts, tryouts?
So I didn't wait. They came out with the United Football League.
The UFL, right.
UFL, and they had the Hartford Colonials.
Yes.
So I was the second overall draft pick for the Hartford Colonials. So I got cut by the Giants. Hartford Colonials like, hey, we're going to have a draft soon. Dixon, your local guy. I started doing marketing and stuff on the radio. I'm on Hot 90 Hot 97.
Hot 98.7. Yeah.
I'm doing everything,
Hot
So
93.7.
they ended up picking me second overall, and I had like 100 yards the first game, and was balling out. And then that year, that league kind of folded.
It did,
It's
yeah.
so hard. Yeah, it's so hard to run a league and try to compete with the NFL. It's just, even though you're not competing with them, you naturally are. You got to get views too. You got to get people in your stands. Also, you want people to buy your apparel. Also, it's very, very hard. But it was cool because when people went to visit, follow UConn on their away games, we would play at Richland Field.
Correct.
So people got to see Andre Dixon another year of Andre after the year. Oh man, I had a lot of fans at the games, man. The love in the state was crazy, man. So it was good. And once it folded, now again, like you said, where you get a job at, man? It was no job. So the next step for me was the CFL. So I went to a CFL tryout, 250 people there. I got signed. Another dude got signed. Went out to Canada, have fun. And
it's a different world out there. I played out there too.
Different world. I mean,
who'd you play for?
I went to the Sacramento Mountain Lions.
Oh, okay.
No. That was my second year at the
UFL.
So once
Hartford.
Once the Hartford folded, the Sacramento Mountain Lions were still going on in California. They picked me up. So I did that there, and then I went to the BC Lions of Canada. Then I went to the BC Lions of Canada, and after that, it was another startup league, XFL. I played for the Florida Black Tips, but trying to find jobs as you're getting older, man, they get slimmer.
It's tough
because they're looking for the next hot guy that's out.
Yeah, especially running back.
Oh, exactly. Especially with my wear and tear, all them carries I had at UConn.
They fed you the ball. I know.
Yeah, so I had a great experience. Though,
do you think though,
all those opportunities?
Like, I personally think the running back position is completely undervalued right now in the NFL. Salary rise, the guys that play, running back by committee, they don't pay guys even close to their value. Whereas, back in the day, I'm a lot older than you. When you're talking like Emmitt Smith and those guys were some of the highest paid players. Now, like for Saquon Barkley to not get re-signed by the Giants over $2 million or $3 million guaranteed per year made me sick to my stomach watching that.
Exactly.
But the running back position overall, but you agree, like you see that it's kind of been devalued to, more to wide receivers.
If you look at my draft year, what was 2010, a few years before that, there were like 15 running backs drafted, like in the first 5 rounds. All that. On my year, 2010, it was 6.
Jesus. So that's like when it started cutting back.
Toby Gayhart, C.J. Spiller, Ryan Matthews. Yeah, it was a cut. Yeah, like Jarvis Best. But
wow.
Other than that, a lot of the guys got pushed back, and then they started grabbing. You saw later, like 6th, 7th rounds when they started grabbing all of the backs. I'm like, the value of the running back has really dropped, man.
Yeah.
If you wanted a guy, they would trade up to go get the guy before. Now it's like, man, look at the Chiefs just went back and got Kareem Hunt.
And he's tearing it up.
And I bet he was dirt cheap.
It blows my mind. It blows my mind because they are still the center of most offenses. I mean, they make the offenses go, and they have the most responsibility. I mean, you got to run the ball. You got to catch the ball out of the backfield. You're critical in pass protection. I mean, you legitimately have to do it all. And it just bothers me that it's undervalued and guys are underpaid. And like Derrick Henry finding a home, took some time. Like I couldn't believe that. Like Derrick Henry, like are you kidding me?
Cowboys are strangling themselves right now for not picking him up. They could have got him for dirt cheap. He probably would have revamped their whole offense.
Cowboys. He's got to go. He goes with Ezekiel Elliott, and I that one blew my mind.
Oh my goodness.
Christian, I mean, there's a couple differences. Christian McCaffrey, when he gets healthy, he'll be on point. Derrick Henry having an amazing year. Saquon Barkley's basically having a fuck you year to the Giants because I love it, and I'm a Giants fan. But I watched the Hard Knocks that showed the Giants that offseason and how they were debating signing him. And if I had a car if I knew when they were filming it, I would have driven down to Giants, the MetLife Stadium or the offices. I would have punched Joe Shane probably in the face for some of the things he was saying about Barkley. Like, he was so nonchalant about, we may let Saquon go. We may not pay him. We'll let him go into free agency, and we'll match it if we'll see what he gets. And they show the phone call that he makes to him. It's like, oh, hey, Saquon, we've decided to let you test the free agent waters. If you get an offer, just let us know, and we'll see about matching it. And Saquon just as cool as a cucumber. Hey, no problem, man. Bye. And that was it. And then the Mara guy, who's the owner, comes in and he goes, if Saquon goes to the Eagles, I'm not going to sleep very well at night. So I don't think he's sleeping very well at night. I don't think he's sleeping very well.
He said it on the show. I didn't even see that. That's amazing.
Yeah, he said it on the show. They did a Hard Knocks leading up to the NFL draft, and they picked the Giants. And right now, like, I used to be a diehard Giants fan, and like, I think they all should be fired for putting this team together. Like, if you're the general manager and you're looking at this roster in June, and you're saying to yourself, okay, these are the guys. We're going to go into the season with this team. We're going to win the NFC East. We're going to win the Super Bowl. We got the talent to do it. These are our boys. It's like, are you out of your mind? Like you could get a 5-year-old to put together a better roster than what they put together. So it just frustrated the hell out of me. It really did.
I like the receiver. I like that receiver they picked up.
Neighbors was a good pickup. Yes.
That's a very good. That's probably the only positive I can say right now.
Neighbors and the running back is doing better. Tracy, I think he'll be okay.
Singletary, who is
that? Tyrone Tracy Jr. is who they. Oh, okay. Singletary has been pretty much a bust, which we kind of expected. So that's right. I forgot. Hartford folded, and they did try to finish out the UFL year. So you ended up going to Sacramento to finish the season, right?
So that was Hartford folded.
Yeah.
The second year.
Oh, it was the second year. Okay.
Hartford and say, "Oh, we bring you back," because I ain't get with the NFL team yet.
Yeah.
I started at Hartford, and before the season even started, going up to the season, it folded.
Yeah.
And California, Sacramento Mountain Lions.
There were only like 4 or 5 teams, right, that year?
Yeah, it was Vegas, it was Sacramento, and it was Birmingham or something like that.
Yeah.
It was,
Yeah.
But it was a great experience, though, man.
Good, I'm sure. Because I know they had good coaches. I know they had funding. It's just disappointing that all those leagues depend on like a partnership with the NFL. That's what they hope for. They say, we can sustain this league for maybe 2 or 3 years, but we're going to need to partner with the NFL. And the NFL hasn't done that. So you go to BC, you go to Canada. Canada is a little different. I was in Edmonton and Hamilton. Did you like the CFL?
I like the Canadian people.
They're very sweet. They're very nice guys.
People, amazing, very friendly.
Yes.
I don't know if they just knew if they would treat me like an import or not, if they know I was on the team.
Yeah.
Love in Canada was out of this world, man.
Yeah.
It was like being LeBron James almost.
Yeah.
Like they were really showing love, man. It was crazy. And they love their teams, man.
They do. They're very passionate.
They love their team. So the Canadian love was good. I ran into a little bit of flack with the coaches sometimes. I mean,
that happens up there because the coaching up there is not as good as what you're probably used to. The coaches up there, it's strange. The dynamic, the guys that get head coaching jobs. So I could completely see that happening.
Oh no, it's a lot of they hire a lot of their former players. It's like they kind of keep it in house or something.
Yeah,
man. It's like older guys that were around the league 60 years ago. They just throw them in the spot for the name or something. Like it was different. Yeah, but Canada was different, but I really, really had a good experience. And learning that style of football was amazing.
It's crazy, right?
Motions and stuff.
Yeah.
Motions and it was a lot of moving
crazy
pieces, man. So it was cool. It was a great experience, man. Like I said, football saved my life, man. Some of the stuff I'll never be able to experience if I ain't, run that pigskin. So it was cool.
So then you ended up coming back and you come back to Connecticut and you were starting this business and it was initially called
Dixon Sports Performance.
Okay. And then you changed it to Dynamic. Was that your brainchild? Was that something you had always wanted to do?
So when I was younger, being from the background, I'm from New Jersey. My mom said, "What do you want for Christmas?" I was probably 14 years old, and I said, "I just want a weight bench. I don't want nothing else. I just want a weight bench." And she took me to Dixon or Sports Authority or something like that it was. And yeah, I'm getting old. I'm telling my age. And she got me a weight bench, man. I had the whole neighborhood lifting weights in my house.
Oh my God.
15 years old. Yeah. If you was the only one in the hood, if you hear that music playing out my window in the neighborhood, you know I was up there banging around some weights, baby. And they just know they could walk in. If my window open, that rock music playing, you know I'm listening. Yes, I was after my freshman year, so sophomore year, like I said, I played my first game amongst boys, slamming kids, going crazy, and then they never let me play sophomore again. And the scholarships started coming, but it started with the gym.
Yeah.
So now, what am I doing for these kids? I'm trying to show them, man, like this is the way. I have the recipe for you right here.
Yes.
And I've got thousands of kids in schools, transformed millions, like a ton of lives. Like it's just been fulfilling to give back every day, man. I know it's my passion.
Do you actually work out of a gym or have a gym that you work with, or you work outside primarily with the kids, or you do it all?
So I have 5,000 square feet.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So I have Doug Wiggins, who is top 50 basketball player, who went to UConn. He does the basketball training. My lady Davina Hernandez won 6 state championships at Southington, Class L in softball. She does the softball training. Yeah, I do football, lacrosse, baseball, basketball. Yeah.
You're an entrepreneur. Oh, my God.
Yeah, so, yeah, we have the softball nets that open up. We got basketball hoops, 30 yards of turf, 5,000 pounds of weights, waiting area.
You have your own facility and everything.
Yeah, yep. So we're giving back, man.
That's amazing. And you also will help kids with recruiting. You'll reach out to coaches or film or all that stuff too.
Oh yeah, whatever they need. I have a lot of kids send me their film and I give them feedback like a coach would. So they'll send me their film. I'll say make it shorter, take this part out, take the curses off, change the song. This play I don't like. That play you look like you're lollygag and take it out. And then I, give them a little notes with different times of where to take stuff out, and then revamp it and send it back to me. And then I got other kids. I show up to the college with them. I have a guy, he wanted to go to PSA, prep school up here.
Yeah.
He said, Dre, my parents don't know a lot about, let's go. What time we going there? Hop in the car with his family, drove an hour or something to the school. I'm talking with the coach about football and this different stuff. He's like, who is this guy you got with, stuff like that. Been able to get back, get the parents some feedback on the way back, man. Oh, these my family. You come in here, you come through my doors, man. You family now. So it's nothing like this.
I'm definitely going to come through your doors. Is it like a subscription type service, a membership type service that people get when they work with you? Is it like they pay per month and you help them with everything or with whatever their goals are?
Yeah, so it's a different thing. It's a monthly subscription.
Yeah.
Put people on auto pay or auto recurrent. And
Okay.
then you have people that might not be here all the time, might come visit. Like I have a family that comes in and they visit from Miami and they just spend their summers here. They'll get a package for the time while they're there. You know, so yeah, I got options, you know.
That's great.
You know, because I have people that pop in sometimes, you know, I have people that come in, oh, I want to do an 8-week package before I start my season. And we have that, you know,
so you'll work with them.
Subscription or packages.
Yeah. That's awesome, man. That is absolutely awesome. I got to make sure to put the website. So it's Dynamic
Human Performance.
Dynamic Human Performance.
Yeah.
All right. I will make sure I put that in. Dynamic Human Performance. Well, I have to say, Mr. Andre Dixon, this was an absolute pleasure. I am so happy that I got a chance to talk with you. You were my favorite running back. Don't tell Donald Brown that, but I like.
JT.
I love watching you. I got to get JT. I got to get JT. I got to get Donald. I got to get Donald Thomas. If you talk to those guys, I would love to have them on the show because you guys took our program to the next level. I mean, I was there in 2002, 2003 when we finally started winning, but it was your group that took us to the next step, winning the first Big East championship, 2007, 2008, the Papa John's Bowl. That was huge. So, and then 2010, it culminated with the Fiesta Bowl. And now hopefully with getting back to where we are, I think we have a chance. I think we got to join a conference. Mike Burton has done a fantastic job. Bleeding Blue for Good. Yep. Bleeding Blue for Good. He got involved and raised money. We just need more people to donate. That's all it is. He raised the money that he did with like 10 people. And with our alumni base, the numbers, we have strength in numbers. And if we are able just to get more people to donate, and he said it himself, he doesn't need thousands of dollars. He needs a couple $100. If he can get a couple $100 from more people, then we'll hit our budget for next year. We'll be able to keep the guys that we have. We'll be able to get more guys, more talent, and have continued success, and then join a conference. So I give him all the credit in the world for stepping up and doing that. And it's made a difference. And now we're going bowling. Is that something you would consider if they go to a bowl in Florida or whatnot? Do you think you'd make the trip?
All of the guys already mapping it out, bro. We got a group chat about 20 of us. We bowling, man. So
all right.
We went to the last game. We said, yeah, we get this win, man. It's bowl time.
Oh, you were there Friday?
Oh, yeah. I ain't missed no home games this year.
Oh, my God. Where do you sit?
Everywhere. I just walk the concourse and
man.
Business, man. It's not. I don't want to sit. I want to hand out business cards.
Oh, you're working. You're hustling. I like it. I love it. Man, I wish I knew.
Yeah, I would have definitely stopped by and said hello. But
yeah,
what Burton is doing is amazing, man. You know how you get more people to buy in? Keep adding these up. Keep getting those W's, man. You keep getting those dubs, people will show up.
You do.
People will show up and pay up. So we just got to keep winning, man.
You do. And I think we will this week. I do think we'll give Syracuse a good game, and we'll definitely beat UMass. So it'll end on a good note, and then I'll hopefully get to meet you at the bowl game. Are you at your facility pretty much all hours? Like you stay until 6 at night, 7 at night?
Definitely. So what I do is I just make sure I'm able to drop my son off at school.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to do that every day. Set a nice little routine with my guy, all the good brushing your teeth stuff and all that. and then I'm at the gym, man. I take like a lunch break.
And where are you located?
218 Murphy Road in Hartford, right off.
Oh, you're in
right
Hartford.
off 91.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. Because I'm gonna go to a couple basketball games, so I may pop in now that I have your number and just
Yes.
stop and say hi, because
Oh,
I
that'd be
think it's
cool, man.
incredible what you're doing. That's what needs to be done, and the Hartford kids, they need someone like you, a mentor, someone to look up to, who's giving them guidance, who's helping them, who's jumping in a car and going for an hour drive to visit a prep school to let them see it and give them feedback. That's so awesome that you're doing all of it and it's working out. And like I said, you were probably one of the most talented running backs I ever watched. I loved watching you run the ball. No, I always say run angry, but you just ran angry. You ran through people, over people, didn't even matter. Like they weren't even there.
Do it.
That's how you got to do it.
They thought I was 225, man. I'm 205. Right, you know?
Yeah, you're jacked up.
Man.
Oh my God. So I will I'm gonna post this on I'll post it on all the social media, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. And then if you're able to just repost it and tag your group of friends, your circle of friends, that helps us out. Husky Talk has been going on almost a year now, and it's been very popular. I want to continue to build it, and the more we can spread it, the better. So I appreciate it if you're able to do it, and we're gonna get you a lot of likes and a lot of views. I can promise you that, because this was a big one. I kept telling everyone I'm getting Andre Dixon. They're like, no, you're not. No, you're not. Like, yeah, we're gonna get him. I'm telling you. So
definitely.
So I have
I'm
to.
happy you got it done, man. Thanks so much for having
Oh
me,
my
man.
God, dude! I can talk to you all day. We have the same mentality, and
I love it.
I'm just so happy you're doing well, and your business is doing well, and you're helping kids. You're making a difference. There's nothing more rewarding, because I coach college ball and going to kids' weddings and seeing them successful at their jobs. There's nothing more rewarding than when you make a difference in a kid's life. And that's what you're doing. That's what you're doing on a daily basis. So I give you so much credit for that. But I will say, for the man himself, the legendary Andre Dixon, running back at UConn, who dominated, decimated, and ran through Notre Dame, which I'll never forget. One of my best memories as a non-UConn, when I wasn't playing, one of my best memories. And Steve Cully, the best podcast host in the universe. Our sponsors, Parseghian Partners, one of the top 50 fastest growing companies in the country. Pete Finch Law Firm. If you've been arrested, your rights have been violated. In a pinch, call Finch. And then Bleeding Blue for Good, Mike Burton. We're going bowling because of the work he's done, the talent that he's brought in. All we need is more people to donate, and we will have continued success. We should kiss the ground Mike Burton walks on, because we are 6-3 right now, and we are going to go to a great bowl and have a chance to go to a conference because of him. And that is all. So this is me, Steve Cully, best podcast host in the universe. Remember, when life gives you lemons, don't make lemonade. Take 2 oranges,